What's up, y'all? It's Steve. This is gonna be the cardinal signs for the month of February. Cardinal signs for the month of February. That's Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Off the rip, there's a lot of energy of just. It's kind of like a quiet power right now. There's like a sense of listening, and there's a sense of being able to receive, right? I know it's the cardinal signs, so there's cardinal signs are a lot more initiating energy, uh, but there is a sense that there's going to be a sense of not just waiting, but I can't say it's waiting. It's there's an acceptance. Acceptance. You might be needing to accept some things. You might be needing to ask for things. Um, it's that kind of energy. It's not something that is. It's not something that is as as pushing forward as cardinal energy might be normally, if you know what I mean. So I am going to set this up. I have pulled a few oracle cards, and that is exactly what we got. You got ask and receive, listen deeply, compassion. If you really like, that's a lot of divinely feminine energy to have, simply. Um, and we got some primary cards down already of that same thing. We get the Ten of Wands. So definitely, if you have something that you're doing, this is the time to let it go. This is the time to take a reprieve, if you will, from doing things that are hard. I know this is a cardinal signs, so like from a standpoint of what is normal for cardinal signs, this is kind of spot on. Getting the Ten of Wands, a lot of weight upon them, but I don't get the feel that this is weight that you need to be carrying right now. I get the vibe that this is weight that you've done what you can do. That's the important part. You've done what you can do. The next portion of it is the Seven of Wands. So again, we're getting this kind of weight and energy. The Seven of Wands represents this energy of kind of staying in position. And that coupled with the Ten of Wands, you really do get a vibe where it's like, you don't need to add more to your plate. There's no more that you need to add to your plate. You need to just kind of wait, stay in position. There's something going on. The next card that we get is the Empress card. So again, the Empress, and it represents a three. So like that three energy of expansion, that expansion is not happening by doing more. That expansion is happening because you've already planted the seeds that you need, and they are being sown. They're growing. They're starting to, you know, move underground, but you may not be able to see it. The Empress card is a very powerful manifestation card. So if any of you are may or may not know that you're pregnant, that is the energy of the Empress card. Also, the energy throughout this whole read is very similar because it has to do with being able to kind of wait that 9 months. Like your manifestations are growing, but it's going to take that time in order for it to grow to birth, if you will, right? So some of you may be pregnant out there. Some of you may be, just starting really great ideas. Let it nurture. Let it kind of all assimilate and integrate into fruition. Don't be too pushy with it because the Empress card is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. And it is not because it is pushing, it is because it is allowing things to come. The next card we got is Strength. So this is one of those situations where you might have a Leo come into your life of some sort, but I really do get the vibe that this is much more about being holding firm within your energy. You might be feeling kind of down, or you might be feeling like more things need to happen here, again, this is all consistent with the same exact energy. You got to give yourself compassion for what you've done and how far you've come, and know that things are shifting, things are changing. And because they're not changing how they used to change, doesn't mean that it's not happening. That's the key to this read, that things can happen even if we don't see it. You see how I pulled these oracle cards earlier, and I'll read some stuff from these oracle cards later in the read, but I want you to see the two people on this card, their eyes are closed. Look, all three of their eyes are closed, right? And the last one is in receival energy. You see this? So there is a realm here that is very much so about things that you don't see and empowering that energy that you don't see in order to receive. The last card that we got here, boom, Ten of Pentacles, right? This is generational wealth. So the Ten of Pentacles is a card that does have to do with your finances. It does have to do with real world things. And it also it really does summate or put into summary of this Ten of Wands. The things that you've already done are going to come into fruition in the real world, right? And it's going to bring you a longevity, a generational wealth. That's a beautiful thing to have, especially when we're talking about cardinal signs waiting, especially because, cardinal signs are so good at initiating. They're not always good at finishing off things, but I will say that that idea of of starting something, being intelligent, working hard at something, all of those things really are great, but they are empowered by allowing those things to come into fruition. Once you did all the work, once you put all the seeds down, you just got to water it and allow it to come into fruition, allow it to grow. And that's a big, big message here. You have to allow. And when you're allowing, that could be something that is not easy, especially for the cardinal sign. So allow things to grow. This Ten of Pentacles is beautiful. So it's beautiful in the sense that we know that, listen, it's going, whatever you've been doing, whatever business that you've been starting, projects that you've been starting, things that you've been putting your energy in, they are going to pay off. And it's going to pay off for your kids. You just have to be patient. Remember that time is relative to what you're doing. So, cardinal signs, y'all may be like really fighting at the beginning to make this happen. And not fighting, but that may be in your energy. But remember that what you're doing is for the long term. So this time period that you may have to wait, you may have to be patient, so on and so forth. Don't take it for granted. You may feel like it's taking long or it's boring. Don't take it for granted. In the long term of what you're doing and all the work that you've put in, it's going to turn out really well. And this would have been a very short beginning, looking back, right? Comparatively to generations, this is just a short amount of time. So that's what I got for my cardinal signs. Let me read to you one or two things from. I used the Angel God Oracle deck in order to ask a couple questions at the beginning. So one of the first ones you got are ask and receive. Ask and you shall receive. Your angel God wants you to know that help is available. You are being encouraged to shift your perceptions and recognize that even in the most difficult circumstances, a miracle is possible. Whatever miracle you need, it is available to you now. Your angel God is encouraging you to recognize that you may not have been blocking support by saying no to the things that you wanted to say yes to, and asking you to change that now. When you begin to say yes to the experiences that light you up, you usher increased levels of support into your life. So again, this really coincides with, listen, put those burdens down. Those Put those burdens down. You don't need that right now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to say no to the things that you do not want so that you can say yes to the things that you do want. Let's go to the next thing. The next thing you got was listen deeply. So let's check that out for a second. See what the vibe is on that. Listening deeply. Um, yeah, I mean this is one of those things that is like really difficult. This is difficult energy for cardinal signs, for that initiation energy, for that fiery energy, for the energy that wants to do, and be able to. That's the thing about cardinal signs too. Cardinal signs are very helpful, and you'll take on more than you could actually do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you won't realize it. So listen deeply. Angels are sending you guidance and inspiration through your powerful and resonant inner voice. Be ready to listen to that voice now. Listen to yourself. If you aren't able to hear yourself, you'll be blocking your connection to the information, insight, and guidance that can support you going forward. If you've been ignoring or avoiding dealing with something you feel that you've had to do for a long time, your angels are encouraging you to stop, listen to yourself, and do it now. Your expansion and growth depend on it. If you have received challenging information recently about your life from any source, you are unsure whether to believe it or not. This card assures you that it is pivotal to the unfolding of your freedom, joy. So listen deeply. Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like you really do have to be in a position that is still in order to truly hear what you're telling yourself, you know, to really truly hear your subconscious. I try to focus on these reads to be more empowering to internal self. It could be people around you saying things, but I get the vibe that it's really about you listening to your inner core and removing all of this stuff around, right? That is not for you. The next joint we have in the last, and I'll wrap this up, is compassion. Your angels are wrapping a light of compassion around you at this time and guiding you to let go of conflict or the need to prove your point. The more you resist and fight, the unhappier and more drained you will be. Pointing out mistakes or mishaps or concentrating on the negative traits or actions of others will only hold you back. Don't let the unjust actions of others block your experience of joy and freedom. Take time to review where in your life you may be feeling held back or even consumed by frustration and anger, and ask your angels to shine their light upon you and the situation. So again, we're really getting the same. Well, let me see what's on about. We're really getting the same things constantly. You know what I'm saying? And we got justice at the bottom of the deck. So again, the more still you are listening to yourself, the more you will be in a position to understand exactly what you need. And I know as of today, because this is a February read, February 1st, Uranus moves into Taurus. So we are seeing this idea that, like, you know, and Taurus is a fixed sign, but there's a realm here that there could be some, I don't want to say just some mix up, but it's like you want to be in a realm where you are still while everything around you is kind of moving around. You know what I mean? You want to be still and tuned in so that you can make sure that you're not you're not in a position where you're making moves on the wrong things or hearing the wrong things or hearing the wrong messages. Right now, it's about hearing the messages and letting everything else kind of fall out, for everything happen as it should. Because it may be a little bit of a chaotic energy around you, and that itself should kind of, that itself may be kind of like quieting you down, but don't think that progress isn't happening because of that, right? And if there is anything that you need to do, obviously get to it. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I mean it's not about the doing. Like I said, I have a feeling this is much more about you've been hearing your conscience tell you certain things that you might need to cut certain people off, projects off, say no to certain things, and start saying yes to yourself more. This is the time for you. So, to all of my cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, I wish you the best. Everything's going to be looking up. You just can't see it. All right? I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.